Also going back to middle school, yeah, I was terrible. I was terrible at Spanish in middle school and high school too. I don't think they teach the language that well. So when I first came to Mexico, I learned it really quickly, and it really surprised me. But I had played a lot of music as a kid. And I had learned multiple instruments. I did a bit of singing when I was really younger. So when I was actually down here, contact day to day with the host culture, I took an approach of learning it like music. I am a bit of a nerd, so I took 2 weeks and really got the grammar down, just memorized it. I memorized it like a structure. And then I started seeing a lot of similarities between Spanish and English. And then you learn, okay, well, if this is a Latin root word, then this is how it shows up in English. This is how it shows up in Spanish. And I made a list of conversions. So I didn't really have to learn the language per se. I just know in my head that, okay, this word converts to that. A good example is education in English. Any word that ends in a T-I-O-N in English ends in C-I-O-N with an accent over the O in Spanish. So education, educación. Foundation, fundación. The F-O-U changes to, you drop the O, it goes to a U. So you learn all of these little tricks. And when you do that, you get like 50, 60% of the language down. And the rest of it's just ear training. And I employed a process I did when I learned instruments when I was a kid. It's really train that ear, be able to identify the note, visualize it, and then replicate the note. So I approach Spanish in 3 different ways: the ear training, the intellectual, academic part, as far as how the words go together, how you form sentences and structures and thoughts, and then how you translate that to physically reproducing the sounds. So that is how I recommend most people learn language. At one point, I mentioned that I stayed in Guadalajara for 2 years after I studied there for 2 years. I actually reverse engineered that process and then taught Mexican business executives English. And we had a 30-day advanced Spanish to English program that we sold, and we did pretty well with that methodology. It had nothing to do with, oh, okay, repeat after me or study all these boring books or put these diagrams together. It was just a list of conversions, the ear training component, and then how to physically train the mouth to produce the sounds. And when you study those in parallel and then you put them together, you learn the language pretty quick.